Welcome to the third lesson on bar chords in the Guitar Foundations course. You may be thinking to yourself, how much more bar chords do we have to go through? I can't stand this anymore. What's the point? When are we going to play some music? Well, we're working towards playing a really cool song in the next lesson, so make sure that you keep that in mind as a goal and a treat to look forward to as you work through this lesson. The point of this lesson is going to be to learn 2 minor bar chord shapes to put with the 2 major bar chord shapes you've been working on. Those shapes are an E minor bar chord shape, there it is, and then an A minor bar chord shape. And this is going to be a lot easier for you since you've already put in the work to get the strength and coordination. You already know the E and A major bar chord shapes. This is going to be just mostly conceptual and kind of continuing what you've been working with already. And you guessed it, the first step for learning the first shape we're going to go through, the E minor bar chord shape, is to just get to where you can play your open E minor with different fingers, your 3rd and 4th fingers, instead of your 1st and 2nd or your 2nd, 3rd. Make sure you're playing it and you can go right to it with your 3rd and 4th fingers, just a regular E minor. And this one is really easy. You might not even need to think about it like this. Let's put on an A minor bar chord using the shape, and to do that, again, we get our root note location or the name of the chord from the low E string, so 5th fret, bar across all 6 strings. And then if you wanted to make an A major bar chord using the E major shape, you would just put the E shape down, right? All you have to do to make this into an A minor shape is lift your middle finger up and end up with that same kind of idea, making an E minor chord with the 3rd and 4th fingers. And you can put on the bar and then the shape and then the shape and then the bar if you need to at this point. If you're still building that coordination overall with your bar chords, that's a good step to do. Another really good thing to do is to just switch back and forth between an E major bar chord shape and then an E minor bar chord shape. In this case, we'd be switching back and forth between an A major and an A minor because of the location, but just put the major bar chord shape there and then lift your middle finger up and play the minor. And when you do that, you can come back here and help out with bar duties back here with your 2nd finger. That's not cheating, it's just making things easier on yourself. So just doing that, going from major, so A major, to A minor, using the E major and E minor shapes. It's a really great exercise. And you want to get eventually to where you can just go to the whole thing all at once without even referencing the major shape. That's really important, so be able to put the minor, E minor bar chord shape on without even thinking much about that major shape as a reference point or a starting point. Once you can play the basic shape, like we've done with everything else so far as bar chords, power chords, just move it up and down the fretboard and be aware of where your root note is on the low E string. For example, if you put your bar up to the 7th fret and put your minor shape down, you'd be playing a B minor because that B note is there on the 7th fret of the low E. So just move that all around. You could do F sharp minor here on the 2nd fret, F minor on the 1st fret, and then just whatever random chords you want, just being aware of where your root notes are. And don't do what I just did, leaving your finger down as you move chords to get that squeak in there. You want to make sure you lift up a little bit so that squeak doesn't come through as much. If you need to stop the video and work on your E minor bar chord shape, this is a great time to do that. We're going to move on to the A minor bar chord shape, and you guessed it, you need to be able to make a regular A minor chord with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers instead of your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. That is step 1. So treat this, again, just like any other new open chord that you would learn, and get to where you can play that just going right to it on its own. Again, leave out the low E string, just strum the top 5 strings, the A through the high E, get to where you can put that right on without even thinking about it. So you end up with your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the D, pinky finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and 2nd finger on the 1st fret of the B string. Leaving the low E string out for your strumming. Okay, let's move this to an E minor chord. So we're going to be playing an E minor chord using the A minor shape. To do that, all you have to do is find an E note on your A string, since that's where our lowest root note is, and there's the one right here on the 7th fret. So if you go to the 7th fret, bar, and then make the rest of your A minor chord fall into shape, then you're going to be playing an E minor there. Now when you're getting used to the shape, same drill as with any of the other bar chord shapes we've learned. Put the bar on first and then the shape. And then the shape on first, then the bar. Working to where you can get the entire shape on all at once. That's gonna be your goal. So that's the shape, go through the same drill. It's just, you know the process by now. All it is a matter of putting in the time and effort to get to where you can put the whole shape on at once. Once you reach that point, just move it around the fretboard and see how many different places you can play this. So if you wanted to play a B minor chord using the A minor shape, where would you put your bar? So all you have to do is find a B on the A string, that's there on the 2nd fret. That'll let your shape fall in place. You'd be playing a B minor. How about a C sharp minor? Where can we play that? Where's the C sharp on the A string? It is right there on the 4th fret, so we could put a bar on the 4th fret, let the rest of our shape fall in place, and just play that chord, C sharp minor. So work on getting that shape down, moving around the fretboard. And the cool thing about this is now you have 2 different shapes for minor chords when you see them, whether you're learning a new song and you see a weird minor chord on the chord chart. Let's say you see a B flat minor, you're like, well, how in the world do I play that? Just find a B flat on either the E or the A strings, and then just put the appropriate chord down. So a B flat minor using the A shape, or a B flat minor using the E minor shape. And our goal for this lesson is to be able to mix one of these minor chord shapes, the A minor chord, with the other 2 major bar chord shapes that you've already been working with, to play through what we call a 1-5-6-4 progression in the key of G major. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. We'll get into that more in the music theory lessons of Guitar Foundations. For now, just realize that we're going to play through a G, D, E minor, C progression using 3 different bar chord shapes that we've learned so far. So I know this is a lot, it's moving kind of fast, but if you need to stop the video to work on getting both of these shapes down and then moving them around the fretboard, now's the time to do that. If you're feeling comfortable with these, we're going to go ahead and jump into this progression. So we're in the key of G, playing through a G major, D major, E minor, C major chord progression. And really all we're doing is adding 1 chord to the progression we played in the last lesson. If you remember, that progression was G, C major, D major, back to G. The order's changing a little bit here, so just think about those chord shapes, the G, C, and D that we used in the last lesson, and that'll be kind of your foundation. The order will change a little bit though. So start off with the G major for 1 measure, whole note, and then we give you a measure to rest. Then you can move to a D this time, so the order is a little bit different here. And then a D, 1 measure, measure of rest. Now we want to play an E minor, so we could come down here and play an open E minor, or we could use our new bar chords. Obviously we don't want to come all the way up here an octave higher and play that E minor shape. So what we're wanting to do, since we're already here with this D major chord, if we go up 1 step to this E on the 5th fret of the A string and slap an A minor chord shape on, that's going to be our E minor. E note right there on the 7th fret. So that's our E minor. And then we come all the way down here for the C chord on the 3rd fret using the A shape. And there's a measure of rest in between each one of these to give you time to work on getting the coordination and locations down for these bar chord shapes. So this is a major tipping point as a guitar player, because you now, and we'll get into this more in a second, now you can play all of these really cool chord progressions in any key you want using bar chords. So let's go through this with no metronome at first, just kind of walking you through it. And take this as slowly as you need to. Okay, start on a G, 1 measure. And take some time, a measure of rest to switch to a D. Then a measure of rest to switch to an E minor. All the way down to a C. It may take you a while to get that coordination and the locations down, but that's what you want to work towards, and then you can do it with a metronome. 1, 2, here's your G, go. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, rest, switch to your D, 3, 4, 3, 4, rest, switch to an E minor, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, switch to a C major, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and that's time to rest and start over. Okay, time to take the rests out, 70 beats per minute. If you need to stop the video and work on it with the rest in it, that's totally fine, but here's what you're shooting for. 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G again, 2, 3, 4. Switch to D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another measure of D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's E minor, 2, 3, 4. And then another E minor, 2, 3, 4. All the way down to C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to try to leave those chords on as long as possible to make the connection, to make it seamless as far as, not having sound. Or not having silence between the chord changes. So your fingers might be pretty sore. If they are, if your hand's just aching, take a break, go do something for a few hours and then come back and practice some more. That's gonna be really important as you get your hand more and more in shape and start playing more and more bar chords. Now, the best thing about bar chords, the most powerful thing about them is you can switch major keys without even thinking about anything except for where you start. Let me go through an example for this. Let's say I was playing a song, the song that we're gonna learn in the next lesson with the singer, and I was playing something like that, but the singer was like, you know what, that's a little bit too low, can you change keys for me? Well, with bar chords, the coolest thing about this is all you have to do if you want a higher key is go up, let's say a half step. If the singer just needs a little bit higher, you can go up just 1 fret and play the exact same chord shapes relative to where you start. So. What I did is I played the exact same progression and shapes relative to where I started, which in this case, 1 fret up from G is an A flat. You can also think about that as a G sharp, but I didn't think about anything else. I didn't think about what chords I was playing. I just thought about the shapes and where they were relative to where I started. So starting on the 4th fret instead of the 3rd fret. And then filling in the bar chord shapes with that. And that's something you'll get more and more into as you play the guitar longer, learn more songs and start learning new things about the guitar. But a really good exercise is to just go through and start anywhere on the guitar neck with this first chord in the progression. And then just go through that same progression with those shapes relative to where you start. And then all you have to do to see what key you're in this particular scenario or this case is look at the first note you started with on that E major bar chord shape. So in this case, that's a B flat, so it'd be playing in the key of B flat. Okay, I know we've been working on it a lot, but it's all gonna pay off in the next lesson when you can jam along to this really cool song. So let me give you your assignments for this lesson so you can be working toward that. Number 1, work on playing the open E minor chord with your 3rd and 4th fingers. Number 2, put the bar and the E minor shape together. Help out with your 2nd finger if you need to. Number 3, move the E minor bar chord shape up and down the fretboard. It's a really good exercise to get the shape down, and it's great to kind of reinforce and learn the notes even better on the low E string. Number 4, work on making the open A minor chord with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers instead of your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. Number 5, put the bar and the A minor chord shape together. E minor is a great place to start on that. 7th fret. Number 6, move the A minor bar chord shape up and down the fretboard, staying aware of what root note you're on. So for example, I'm playing a D minor here, C minor here, B minor here, B flat minor, back down to an A minor. Number 7, play through the 1, 5, 6, 4 or the G, D, E minor, C progression with a mix of your E major, A major, and A minor bar chord shapes without a metronome. Number 8, play through the G major, D major, E minor, C major chord progression using those exact same chord shapes, but play along to either the 70 beats per minute metronome or the jam track that I have for you. Number 9, move this chord progression to the keys of A, B flat, and C major. I know you've put in a lot of work with these bar chords, and it's no easy task, but this is really a lot of the foundation you're gonna need as a guitar player. And the more you learn about guitar, not even just rhythm guitar, but lead guitar too, you're gonna realize how important these lessons are to laying that foundation for you. So if you have any questions about them, you can leave them in the comments below or email me, nate@natesavage.com. Now, if you're having really serious trouble with any of these individual areas, you can always go to natesavage.com and schedule a private lesson with me. The first one is complimentary, so there's no risk. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps get the word out about this course, and I will see you In the next video, we're going to learn your next song.